Hi there, Keith here with another movie review. Today I'll be reviewing the new Jake Gyllenhaal movie, Nightcrawler. Now, last week I talked to you about a movie called John Wick, where I went into the movie, I didn't see any of the trailers, and I absolutely enjoyed that movie. This was very similar. Don't laugh, but I actually thought that this might have been a superhero movie. This movie premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival, and while I got to see a few movies at the festival, Nightcrawler wasn't one of them. So I went into this movie pretty blind. And what I ended up seeing was probably one of the most entertaining movies I've seen in a long time. Jake Gyllenhaal is a fantastic actor, but up until this movie, I would always say that Jake Gyllenhaal was just there. So for example, I enjoyed Prisoners. I enjoyed End of Watch, but it wasn't necessarily his performance that electrified the screen. It was the fact that he was just cast in great movies. I definitely loved Brokeback Mountain, but again, for me it was the story, it wasn't as much as his performance. That can't be said about Nightcrawler, because Nightcrawler, he completely comes to life in this role. In this role, he plays Louis Bloom, a petty thief who's pretty much looking for his next quick buck. He stumbles upon the world of journalism. Well, kind of journalism. You're not going to mistake him for somebody who's reporting at CNN or CBS this morning, but what you are going to find is he's pretty much tracking the scene in the wee hours of the morning, looking for any sorts of violent crime that he can find, videotaping it, and selling it to the highest bidder. In this case, the highest bidder is a producer played by Rene Russo. Now, what's interesting about this movie is it is completely messed up. When you leave this movie and you look at your friends, you will say to them, "We just saw a completely messed up movie." Your language choice might differ. But the fact of the matter is that you're going to see probably the best performance of Jake Gyllenhaal's career. In this career, we see him go from mild-mannered, kind of nervous, awkward person to probably one of the most terrifying sociopaths that you've seen on the big screen in a long time. And he makes this transition almost seamlessly. The writing in the movie is fantastic. The supporting cast, which again includes Rene Russo as well as Bill Paxton, is fantastic. The music, the cinematography, there's so many different elements of this movie that I really enjoyed. But it all comes back to his performance. If he's not acting in this role, I'm probably not enjoying this as much. I'm looking at this and I'm leaving and I'm thinking, this is the same guy from Love and Other Drugs? This is the same guy from some of those other movies that he's been in that, escape my memory? This movie won't escape my memory for some time. There's been talk that Jake Gyllenhaal's in conversation for an Oscar role for this, for an Oscar nomination for this, and I can completely understand why he'd be in the conversation. This movie isn't for the faint of heart or for people who don't like what I would like to call the non-cookie cutter movies. But if you want your mind to be twisted and you want to see something that's very original, then I definitely recommend Nightcrawler. And to that end, I'm giving it an A-. If you have an opportunity to see this movie, I'd love to hear what you think. And if there's other movies that are out there that I haven't had a chance to review that you want me to, please let me know that as well. As always, you can catch me on Twitter at CFL_fan, Facebook.com/WittyWhittier, and WittyWhittier.com. I appreciate your time in checking out this blog, and I'll see you at the movies.